doing these alone, so bear with me and let's just make this fun for all of us. And I'm nervous, and maybe it'll be enjoyable, and we'll have a great, wonderful time. So, how do I begin? What do I do first? What do I do first? I figure that I could talk about this movie, Fantastic Mr. Fox, a little bit, and I would tell you guys a little bit about how we made the movie. Because should I sit down? I feel like it's not that big of a difference. It's such a high chair. It doesn't really, you can't perceive a man sitting down. So I'd like to just tell you a little bit about how we made this movie, which is pretty amazing. Because for most animated movies, they get, for like a movie like Shark's Tale or any of the big sort of animated movies in that style, which I love, by the way, all of those movies, and the Pixar and all those films are incredible. But if you drive down the street, I get really excited because I'll see these billboards with all these actors on them that I love, and then I realize, oh, they've actually never met each other before, because when you do an animated movie, they, I know it's just, I don't want to shatter any hearts for but they don't. Typically, the actors are record their parts separately in recording studios, and then later the actors' performances are edited together, so it sounds like they're talking to one another. And the reason that they do that is for three reasons, apparently. One is because of scheduling issues. When you have such a vast cast, big cast of all these great famous actors, they're all very busy, and so it's hard for them to all coordinate their schedules to be together. They record separately. Also, the scripts are kind of always like a work in progress. And thirdly, when you do an animated movie, the directors and the people who animate, like, the goal is to have a clean audio track. The voice should be very pure and clean, and no weird sounds or interruptions of people overlapping one another, so they can edit it. But Wes Anderson, who directed this film, had a really great idea of getting all the actors together and doing it live, and that's how we did all the sound for this movie. All the actors met together. We all went to a farm, and we went on location and for an animated movie, which is incredible. And we basically did the whole movie on location, doing scenes where they would actually be taking place in the animated world. So if there's a scene, for instance, where the family of foxes are all outside digging in the ground, we would all go outside under a tree, and we would all really dig on the ground. And Bill Murray and George Clooney are in this film, and they were on the ground with me, and it was totally, it was a very amazing experience, because I grew up loving Bill Murray so much, and all of his movies were very impactful to me as a young kid growing up. And the fact that I was on the ground, rolling around on the ground in the dirt next to him was very, I couldn't believe it was actually happening. And also, like, basically, the reason why Wes wanted to get all the actors together is because when you have, like, when you're doing a Pixar-type film, I suppose, it's really hard, I think, for the actors, and I have such respect for the actors who have been in those movies, because they have to just stand alone in a room and pretend like they're talking to people, which is very, very hard to do. And you have to, like, generate spontaneity and all this stuff, and I'll tell you what all these words mean later. For some reason, because you guys are in the front row, the little children, I'm having a weird thing where I'm using the biggest words possible. I don't know why it's happening, but I'm like, the words like surreal, spontaneous, bizarre, all these words. I don't know. I'm sorry. And I love you. And so basically, yeah. So it's very hard to act by yourself and make it seem like it's happening and that it's alive and real. So, but when you have two people together, or three, or in our case 4 or 5, it's really fun, because you can have accidents, and accidents are really fun for actors and for directors and stuff, because then every time you do a take, it's different and unusual, and you can have people overlapping each other by accident, or cutting each other off, or messing up a line, or you can have, while you're speaking, sometimes maybe like a plane will go by in a take, and Wes would just, if he liked a good take and there's a plane in it, he'd just say, okay, well, then we'll just have a plane, we'll animate a plane going by in the background. And that's what we did. All the sound that you hear in the movie, The Fantastic Mr. Fox, is the actual sound that was happening that day. So if there's crickets in a scene, it's because there were crickets that day. If there's birds, it's all real. So that's a pretty amazing thing, I think, and it was an amazing way to make an animated movie. And do you guys want me to tell you what the movie's about? Do you guys know what the movie's about? Do you want me to tell you a little bit about it? So basically, okay. I didn't wait for your answer. You want me to tell you? Okay. The movie is about, and by the way, these are some of the things I picked out. Master Your Metabolism, and I got this Robert Pattinson new movie. And maybe later, if we're all bored, we can build it together. Yeah. There he is. And are you guys excited about New Moon? Oh. And so anyway, where was it? Okay, so this movie is based on a book by Roald Dahl, who wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and he wrote a movie called The Twist, or a book called The Twist. Have you guys all seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? You know Willy Wonka? Oh, you're gonna love Willy Wonka. He's my favorite movie, and that you would know. And he wrote tons of books. He wrote one my personal favorite is one called The Witches, and there was a movie about that, made of that, and he wrote The Twist. And anyway, he's a great writer, and this book is about a family of foxes. Yep. I'm getting heckled. And so anyway, but here's the book is about this family of foxes who this fox, the fantastic Mr. Fox, who's played by George Clooney. I'll tell you what the movie's about instead of the book, because the book is very short and the movie is a bit longer, and we're here to talk about the movie. So basically, George Clooney's character, Fantastic Mr. Fox, I don't want to give away too much, spoiler alert type of thing. But anyway, he's a fox. He's an animal, and he breaks into barns and chicken coops, and he steals chickens and steals things. He steals apple juice and anything. Anyway, but he gets it's very dangerous to steal. It's very bad. And his wife, who was played by Meryl Streep, who you guys will love in years to come. She's his wife, and she's pregnant with a baby, and she tells him that he's got to stop stealing things and find a new life because stealing is too dangerous, and she's going to have a baby and she wants to have a family. So he gives up being a fox, a thief, and he becomes a writer for a newspaper magazine, for a newspaper. And but deep down, there's something in him that feels like it's missing. That he's a bit he feels a bit lost. He's not satisfied with being just a writer, and he realizes that what he really misses is his animal instinct, which is to be a fox, to break into things, to be cunning, to dig, to steal chickens. I hate to say it, steal chickens. And basically, he moves into a new house, and he realizes that he lives across from these three farmers who have these incredible farms, and he hatches a plan to go break into each of their farms and steal everything that they have. And he's very successful at it, but halfway through doing it, the farmers catch him, or they catch on to him, and they fight back. And thus begins a crazy battle between foxes and animals and men. And it's incredible. And really what the movie is about is, kind of being okay with the person that you are deep down, like your natural instincts. And I know I don't want to sound cheesy, but I feel like